All right, so welcome, welcome. So we just watched Jazzy season 2 finals at the Texas Gamers Lounge. Shout outs to Texas Gamers Lounge for hosting, and shout outs to Yee for winning. So anyway, guys, I'm introducing this new podcast. Courtesy of Beast Coast. It's called Furby's Corner. Like my sponsor from Higher Above asked me to do some podcasts. So here I am, and I decided to be my first guest on Mutant Experience, the commissioner and founder of the Jazzy Circuit, and helping to keep Third Strike alive in North America and literally everywhere, man. How you doing?
Doing all right, Art. Thanks for choosing me to be your first guest.
Mm-hmm.
You were on my podcast, so it's only right that I repaid the favor.
Thanks, brother. Thanks. And of course, like we have to show like our entry fee, our price of admission. This is my personal Third Strike board with the Jason's Customs mod that we actually did Third Strike on at season two finals and season one as well. So like let me get it started, man. It is no surprise. It is actually, Third Strike has been blowing up the airways lately, man. Like everywhere you
Yeah.
see, it's like everybody's just talking about Third Strike. They're always talking about wanting to play more Third Strike. People are devouring Third Strike content like crazy. So I just wanted to ask, like the man behind the scenes that made it all happen, and of course we have many various partners at the Jazzy Circuit, which help us out and actually pull this off, like all around North America. So can you give us a little intro into like what the Jazzy Circuit is and how it got started?
Where to begin? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, basically the Jazzy Circuit is a grassroots league for Third Strike, and we team up with different TOs from around the country to put on Jazzy Circuit sanctioned events. And it all leads up to a final event, what we call the Jazzy Finale or Jazzy Finale weekend. It happens, or we try to have it happen every year. Of course, COVID disrupted some of those plans, but we were able to pull it off. Thanks in part to you, Arturo, for coming out. I just want to. I know that I haven't come out publicly, but just shout outs, man, for agreeing to come out to Austin, especially at that time to stream the finale. I really did. I really do appreciate that, and the scene appreciates it.
It, it,
Uh,
yeah, thanks, man.
yeah,
Now, like, I mean, yeah, I certainly appreciate that, man. And like, like, Third Strike, the Jazz Circuit is as much as your event as it is like the community. Like, it's a community based like event.
yeah.
So like, I wanted to ask, like, Third Strike hasn't always really been popping like this. Like, so I want to take it back to the dark days and like, how exactly did it all get started? Of course, I know the answer. I was there, but the
Yeah.
people the the people don't
I,
know. The people don't know where this all started.
I mean, it's I can only speak on my own experience,
Mm-hmm.
so I guess maybe we could start there.
Mm-hmm.
But I played Third Strike when it first came out. I still remember the place. It was called. Well, I grew up in Southern California,
Mm-hmm.
and now I live in the East Coast. But I remember the first place I played Third Strike was a place called Regency Fun Center. It was this arcade that was connected to this bowling alley. It was in I think Lakewood, California, and I remember when I first played the game, I wasn't really a big fan of it because uh, I was at the time it was like Alpha, right? Remember, it was the Alpha series that was really like blowing up in the
Yeah,
arcade.
yeah, man. At the time when Third Strike came out, like it was kind of universally critiqued. Like like a lot of people like were not feeling it. But like of course, opinions change. 20 years later, here we are.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, you're right though. Like that's a really good point, Art, because like remember, like they already had two tries with us, right? They had New Gen and then
Mm-hmm.
they had Second Impact. And
Mm-hmm.
so when Third Strike came around, at least I don't know from like what I remember, and I used to go to the arcades pretty frequently when I was younger. There didn't seem to be a whole lot of fanfare when Third Strike first dropped. I don't know. Maybe it was different in because obviously I'm coming from the West Coast, right?
Mm-hmm.
How about in the East Coast?
Well,
Was that like
I remember the first day it came out at Chinatown Fair. Like I was there. I was there like right when it came out, and at Chinatown Fair, Henry Sen was still the manager there, of course, and that that was a time when the hardcore arcade scene was alive, but that didn't represent necessarily the general gaming populace. But anyway, my first memory of Third Strike is I remember there were two big dynamic there were two big big blue cabinets in Chinatown Fair with Third Strike, and I remember Eddie Lee got 100 wins with he got 100 wins with Chun Li day one, and no one could
Uh,
take him off. And from there, I was like, well, I don't know
well,
too
the
much
tier
about this
list
game,
was
but Chun Li's the best
established.
of the game. She's definitely got
Yeah,
to be the best of the game.
tier list was established day one. Get that out of the way, right?
Yep. Mm. But yeah, more what I was looking at, yeah, like everybody definitely has their own history with Third Strike. I think
Yeah.
there was a lot of the same in a lot of North America. People necessarily weren't feeling Third Strike at first, but then but like Japan would definitely was feeling it, and like that was during the
Yeah.
days where there were like a lot of like underground podcasts,
Hmm.
like underground DVDs, like I know Gamers Vision, like they always had the BitTorrent that you could download. Shogo had this thing going on and stuff, so it was definitely staying alive in the hardcore circles, right?
Yeah.
But
And it's funny that we just watched, a set with Issei, who is, of course, in my book, probably, in the running for, probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest third strike player in history. I
mhm,
definitely think Issei is definitely in the running. Obviously he came up short in last
mhm,
year's finale, but if you look at his track record,
it's immaculate.
who he's beaten, the different type of events, the longevity. It was an honor to have Issei at the finale. So thank you, Issei, for coming out.
Hmm.
But like when I think about like the competitive scene, like again, I played Third Strike when it first came out, and I wasn't really feeling it. But it wasn't really until a few years later when I discovered Family Fun Arcade,
Oh boy.
which is of course the main Third Strike arcade out in Southern California, and that's sort of where I learned Third Strike, for better or worse, right?
Uh-huh.
And it's funny because we just watched the set with Five Star, and just a quick story, Art. I don't know if I've ever told you this story, um, but I went to UC Irvine as an undergrad, and there was an arcade there called the Zot Zone. It was called the Zot Zone
This is
because
awesome.
our mascot was the anteater, and so apparently an anteater makes a Zot sound. I've never heard an anteater before, but whatever. So it was called the Zot Zone, and during one of between classes, I was playing Third Strike on a big blue cab like you were talking about,
Mhm.
and there was this guy, and he was playing on there too, and we played, and then we played like a couple games or something, and then after we played, he turned to me and he was like, "Hey man, if you want to see some like really pro godlike Third Strike play, come to Family Fun in Granada Hills or in the Valley," or I forgot what he said,
Mhm.
and I was like, "All right, that's cool." And then yeah, and then he just walked away, and that dude was Five Star. That was Five Star, and so I guess it's five. I have Five Star to thank for getting into the game, and so yeah, I guess the rest is history. Started going to family, started playing the game, and yeah,
Yeah,
there you go.
yeah, no, it is important to note that that was during the dark days of the FGC,
Yeah.
which basically means that when I say the dark days, there were games coming out, but we were kind of like in our own bubble. There were no necessarily new fighting games from Capcom, and Third Strike was the last release, other than Capcom Fighting Jam, which
That was
we
the
kind of
last
forget about.
system, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, that was the last system. So Third Strike was still
if you want to get
kicking.
into like retro stuff, right? Let's get into
Yeah,
like that retro talk, right?
yeah, Third Strike was still kicking, but basically it was one of the big four games like of the dead era, right? So the four games that represented the North American FGC during that era were Marvel's Capcom 2, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, and Capcom versus SNK 2. They were always staples in the FGC until Street Fighter 4 came out. Then obviously Street Fighter 4 came out, revitalized the scene. Everybody focused on 4 a bit. They kind of forgot about the older games for a bit. Street Fighter 5 came out and like elevated the scene even further to where we are today, right? So like I guess it was during the SF5 period where started to take place. So I kind of wanted to delve into that a little bit, cause like I believe you came with me to the concept of the Jazzy Circuit and what you wanted it to be at iFix Machine.
Yeah, so
Mm.
I think by around 2018, by that time I had done a lot, in terms of the game. I'd played in my share of tournaments. I finally got to go to Japan.
Oh yeah,
Finally got
yeah.
an opportunity to compete,
That's kind of like,
alongside the team New York,
yeah, it's an essential
and
trip for
team This is
anybody.
Third Strike. Yeah, in Japan. So like as someone like me who's been playing the game for so long, the trip to Japan is obviously like one of those things you
Yeah,
look
you got to
forward
do.
to,
Yeah, you got to do
and
it.
so it was definitely great. And so like by the time we started Jazzy, like I was kind of like already kind of started like it's cool, the game's been good, but like one of the things, and I guess it's just because I'm sentimental, right? Like
Mhm.
I started like realizing like, hey, it's gonna be like the 20th anniversary,
Mhm.
and at least I didn't hear anybody like kind of saying anything, like just like real quickly. It's kind of sad to me. I don't know how hot of a take this is, but it's kind of sad to me that like CVS2, right?
Mhm.
Like last year was 20th anniversary of CVS2,
Mhm. Oh
wasn't
yeah.
it?
Oh
Like
yeah.
last year,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. 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 It is. 2001 was when it came out.
And like I wish like that game got its kind of like flowers last year, and
Mhm.
kind of had an opportunity to kind of blow up and be
Yeah.
celebrated. You know,
Flycast didn't exist until last year though.
yeah, yeah. That doesn't mean we can't still do it.
Yeah, we can
Maybe
still
wait
do
for
it.
25th
Yeah, I'll wait
anniversary,
for the 25th.
right?
Mhm.
Maybe it'll be good. It'll be fine by then. But
Mhm.
yeah. So like I noticed that like 20th anniversary of Third Strike was coming out, and I was like, it'd be really cool to like kind of do something. And so like I noticed that really the Jazzy circuit wouldn't exist without like previous leagues. Like for example, Tournament of Legends. Shout outs to the ST scene for paving the
Yeah,
way.
shit house to
ST
Karopi.
community, yeah, Karopi for starting Tournament of Legends, which was
That
kind
was
of similar to the Jazzy circuit, right? Like it was,
that was a huge undertaking. I remember because I was involved in that pretty
yeah,
closely. Yeah, definitely very
yeah,
similar.
yeah. Yeah, they ran like ST tournaments around the country, and then they had where did they have the finals in the first? I
I think the
forgot where it
finals.
was the first.
I think the finals was at Evo, something
Was
like
that at
that.
Evo?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was at Evo.
And they had like three of them, right?
Mhm.
They had three different TOLs.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah,
last one was at Canada Cup, I think.
yeah. The last one was at Canada Cup. One was at Evo. I think one was online or something like that. Like
Or,
my memory is so blurry. It's like I do so many
yeah,
events.
yeah. It's so many events, so many events. Yeah.
Mhm.
So like, and then the curly circuit. Remember for
Yeah, yeah.
Marvel?
Curly circuit.
Shout outs to Yipes. Like it was
Mhm.
so hype, the curly circuit.
Yep.
So I thought like it'd be cool to do like a circuit for Jazzy. Like it was that simple, art. Like it wasn't
Mhm.
even like it's not even rocket science. It was just
Uh huh.
like, hey man, like this is kind of cool to do if we did it for Third Strike. And like I never like ever really intended it to be like going beyond one season. Like I just thought, hey, it'd be cool to do it for one season. But then like after like all the love everyone was showing for the game and everyone getting excited for like the league, we just had to keep doing it again. And so like it's hard to believe like we're almost 4 years since we started Jazzy. So
I know.
yeah,
I'll tell you my memory of when you asked me to start blowing up at
yeah,
Jazzy because I remember like you remember you asked me about this at iFix Machine, rest in peace, highest venue, it was a great venue, and that was kind of where your approach to me like about the whole brainchild. I remember I was there because I think we started having like a weekly or bi-weekly third strike tournaments there, and I remember Dr.
yeah,
Steelhammer came and like he won his first one there. And I remember like he went like on a massive rant like on my stream, talking about how like people are not showing up for third strike and stuff, and da 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 da, like I want to see all the killers come out. Like around that time you had approached me to help stream and like just help out with the general crowdfunding and production of a Jazzy circuit, right? But you were kind of somber at the time. It's like because like we weren't getting the traction for third strike that we thought we would. So it's like you came to me at that time, but it was kind of like a somber pack it up kind of thing if this doesn't work out.
yeah. I mean, it was just kind of like it wasn't like we didn't like really know what we were doing, right?
Hmm.
So we were just kind of we did it, we started it, um And so I think it's really important to kind of point out that, like, it wasn't just you and me, right?
Hmm.
Like, when I really started thinking about starting the circuit, I reached out to TOs around the country, that I thought would, really be interested in something like this. And so Katie Alpha, the tournament organizer from Houston, who has run Third Strike at Texas Showdown for many years, is someone that I reached out to. DJ Isco, who is the TO for Austin Third Strike at Arcade UFO, the legendary Arcade UFO.
Shout out to that
Shout out to
place.
Arcade UFO, Austin Third Strike,
Hmm.
long history there. And then Vankabot, the young Third Strike god, Vankabot.
Vanka the God.
And Vanka was really important because it's
He's so important, dude.
like it or not, right? It's how are people getting into this game online?
Yeah, it's true.
And regardless of how you feel about the differences between online and offline, like, people are going to get into this game through online, and it's really, the onus is on us, right, Art, to get people to come out
Oh,
and experience it offline,
oh yeah, of course. Yeah, huge shout
and
outs, huge shout outs to Vankabot for blowing
yeah,
it up with the Jazzy circuit online. Especially during the pandemic. Like, he's definitely doing his part to carry this game through COVID.
yeah, and Katie and Vanka, they were at Frosty Fausting. Shout outs
Yeah,
to the
I couldn't.
TOs at Frosty
I
Fausting.
couldn't even. I couldn't even make it this year. It's like, yeah, like, I mean, they actually trucked through and went. That's awesome.
Yeah. And to help run Third Strike, and again, shout outs to all the TOs at Frosty, and
Hmm.
everyone who helped out Paradise Arcade Shop,
Hmm.
Psychic Drive, and Arcade Random Posting.
Oh yeah. No, oh
That's an
yeah.
awesome Twitter handle,
Oh
right? You
yeah.
remember,
I don't know who Arcade Random Posting is, but he's godlike. I can see the
he
t.
actually, this person was actually at Frosty, I believe.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't know if anyone noticed Arcade Random Posting's tweet, but he tweeted that he needs a logo.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, help him out,
anyone who wants
guys.
to help Arcade Random Posting out with a logo, I think that would be cool.
Oh,
So
to Delonimus, thank you so much for the sub. Yeah, yeah, this is a
yeah,
podcast. This is a podcast we're doing. This is the first episode
yeah,
of the Beast Coast FGC podcast, Furby's Corner. My first guest is Mutant Experience. Thank you for joining us.
yeah.
Um, so
But
so.
yeah, man. So, like, I approached you,
Mm,
and I was like, "Hey, man," came up to you with this idea for this league. This kind of, we'll do auto quals, and then we'll do like ranking events where people can, just run the events if they want to, as long as they, meet requirements. And then it was funny because around the time you started, blowing it up for Matcherino.
oh yeah, yeah. That
And
was right around the time I started working for them. Yep.
yeah, and
And I
so
was going in hard on retro. I was going in really hard on retro at that time. Anything retro, I was pretty much with it. Got a bunch of equipment, so it was like the perfect time.
yeah, it was almost like a perfect storm, right? Like,
Hmm.
kind of, you were figuring out ways to make Matcherino work, and
Hmm.
I was trying to figure out how Jazzy could work,
Hmm.
and I guess it was just it's just one of those things where we got lucky.
Yep, and then of course we had like a lot of like hardworking people around us.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer of there are those that bitch and there are those that actually do something about it. Thankfully, we had the right people around us that could actually do something about it. We had guys like Jose who graciously modded like all the HDMI boards for us, who could
Bruce
have.
Link.
Yeah, shouts to Cruz the God. We had guys like Marks releasing CPS3 HDMI, which was literally a game changer for streams. No longer did we have to watch Potato 240p video with the
Yo,
colors like
Art,
all out of.
I don't want to interrupt you here, but like, I gotta really emphasize this. That HDMI mod, it's like, it's yeah, it makes everything, but like, just how easy it is to stream. Like, I don't know anything about streaming, and all I gotta do is just plug, and it just works. Like, just real quick story. Our first season 3 auto qualifier was at NEC 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Put on by Big E Gaming, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Bifuteki was streaming it,
Mm-hmm.
and when we got him we made sure we brought the HDMI mod, one of my boards that had the HDMI mod, and the way that they had the stream set up, like, there was a stage, right? But the stream was like all the way in the back,
Mm-hmm.
art. You know what I mean?
Oh, so they run a long HDMI cable.
Yeah, and so they were having like issues with like other games, especially like trying to stream like from PS2, because they think there was a CVS2 tournament.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah,
When you run analog cabling, it becomes more
yeah,
annoying, especially because you have to
yeah,
carry audio and video. But then one long HDMI, you got a
yeah.
splitter, good
So,
to go.
so we brought the HDMI board, and I was like fairly confident, right, it was gonna work, right? But I
Hmm.
did have, with
Hesitation.
retro, right? Art,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
never
retro.
know. There's always, you
It's
never
always
know
that
with
X factor.
retro.
It's always that X factor.
So there was always so there was that suspense, right? But like literally like within seconds, the feed came in.
Hmm. Yeah, it was
And
super.
and
Yeah,
that
super
back
crispy.
room must be like 100 feet away from the stage,
Mm.
so yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah, no, like I mean, I totally agree with you, like about that Third Strike HDMI board. Because before, if you wanted to capture it, it's like you needed a dedicated JAMA device. You needed to calibrate the audio and video levels, for both head-to-head cabinets and the distribution amp because of the three-way split, and you had to calibrate the colors. So it's like it wasn't just streaming it. You needed somebody that was an arcade tech to know what was up and to know how to calibrate all this stuff. And it wasn't just plug and play and stuff. It was really freaking annoying. But now with the HDMI board, it makes it super easy, and it's really leveled the production of Third Strike streams a lot. Not only at my events, but it's like you mentioned, all across the U.S., so all across the qualifiers. Like I've been seeing the HDMI boards that you've been shipping out everywhere.
yeah, definitely.
So another question I wanted to ask. Does do you look to Matsuda or Co-op Cup for any kind of inspiration when running the Jazzy circuit?
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
it's Matsuda is kind of the engine to me, and Game Newton is the engine that keeps the third strike scene, running,
Oh yeah. First,
right?
oh yeah. First, tell our viewers who Matsuda is and who Game Newton is. Like I said, like everybody that's watching here is FGC, but some people that are
Yeah,
listening on Spotify or
yeah, definitely.
YouTube Beast Coast might not know who Matsuda is or Game Newton or
Yeah.
even Co-op Cup.
So Game Newton is a arcade, or a gaming center in Japan. It's just outside of Tokyo, and it's owned and run by a longtime Japanese organizer named Matsuda, who has been running Third Strike tournaments, for just since the game really came out, from what I remember,
Yeah,
and
man.
and
During the
one of the
BitTorrent
and one of the
days, during the
yeah,
BitTorrent day, you had to have like a
yeah,
torrent link
yeah,
from some Japanese site,
yeah,
and you had to know. Otherwise, you weren't watching it.
yeah. And one of the more important events, really the most important event in the Third Strike calendar, and unfortunately because of COVID, we haven't been able to run it, or they haven't been able to run it, excuse me,
Hmm.
is an event called Cooperation Cup. And so, Art, again, like you were saying, like a lot of these viewers aren't may not be familiar with the FGC, but the Cooperation Cup is a really special event, right? It's a huge tournament. It's a team tournament, first of all, right? And so it's five player teams, and basically you compete in a giant tournament. And it's I believe the first Cooperation Cup started with like maybe like less than 20 teams. I don't remember. I actually made a trailer for Co-op Cup one time, and now I forgot all the stats. Like you said, right? I forgot
Hmm.
everything. Like I know, like it started out like really small with the first Co-op Cup, and then like the last Co-op Cup that they were able to run. I mean, there were 100. There were over 100 teams, I believe, over hundreds of teams, and so it's become like a really big event. Uh, you know, uh, a lot of people from outside of Japan travel there to go.
Oh yeah, it's one
Like
of
I
the
said
meccas.
before, yeah, in 2017, I was able to go there and
Hmm.
compete for the first time. Um,
I still haven't had a chance to go visit. Like, I mean, like, I
uh,
definitely want to go there in person one day.
yeah,
We're trying to get Matsuda
you
on
got
that
to get a team.
CPS3
Art,
HDMI board.
let's do a little real talk here, Art.
Hmm.
Okay, okay. If you had to, they had over 50 teams in the first one. Oh, okay. I
Hmm.
have to, I have to check the stats, Yi. But Yi's are. See, he's not
Yeah,
only
fact
the
check.
champion.
Fact check.
So by the way, 5-star Desu, welcome,
Yeah,
the
thank you,
Jazzy
5
Circuit world champion.
Pretty much.
Um, is in the
Season 2
chat.
champion.
The season two
The current
champion.
season 2 champion.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So like we're talking about Co-op Cup, right? Like, yeah, it's really like a huge event. and there were so many teams, and it's now they had like they started an English stream, right, which is
Yeah, I
just
did.
amazing. That's just kind of a testament to just how
Popular it is.
how popular the game is,
Mm-hmm.
and again, unfortunately, because of COVID, haven't been able to run it. But hopefully, Co-op Cup returns. But support Matsuda, support Game Newton. Uh, I wish we had that link to for supporting Game Newton. If someone has it in the stream, DM it to us. Maybe we can we can blow it up here. But yeah, support Game Newton, support Matsuda.
Yeah, some Mecca for
Uh,
sure.
yeah, and so hopefully we see Cooperation Cup come back. But one of the cool things that they did during the pandemic, right? Art is they did
Hmm.
those first attends, right?
That was sick.
They
Yeah,
did,
yeah. Now,
yeah.
like even though they couldn't have co-op cup, those first attends were extremely lit.
And that's how dedicated Matsuda is, right?
Hmm.
Like during the pandemic, he's willing to close it, like while his business, right? While his
It's
business is
underwater.
suffering,
Yeah.
he decides to just run a stream, literally just for the community, for the scene. He gets players to come out and run sets, just to help, keep the scene alive,
Hmm.
keep interest in the game high, and support, Game Newton's just amazing. And so definitely support Matsuda. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not like hopefully in the years to come we'll be seeing some CPS3 HDMI action
Oh
from that
wow.
part of the
Yeah.
world. That actually
Well, it would be
Obama
so easy, right?
actually
It's just so
yeah,
easy.
yeah, it is so easy. Actually Obama he's sending me a third strike board as we speak. So
Uh
I'm
oh.
gonna
Okay.
bring it over to Cruise, test it, ship
Yeah.
it back. So hopefully we'll see
Cause
some clean feeds soon because they have godlike players. We need a
yeah.
godlike feed.
But here's the thing, right? What excites me the most though, Art, is like if all of the cabs are hooked up with HDMI,
It's so easy.
that means everything gets recorded.
Everything gets recorded, and like
Everything
I have
gets
like
recorded.
I have like a Matrix.
You know how many stories in the past I've heard of matches on
Godlike
Co-op
matches
Cup,
that didn't get
but
streamed.
like they never make it on stream, right? Like
Um,
like you just hear about it. Like
mhm,
I have friends like for example, one of my again one of the members of the Jazzy Circuit board, DJ Isco.
mhm,
He's also a Necro player from the Austin scene.
mhm.
He OCV'd a team in Japan.
Damn, let's go, son.
You
It
can
wasn't
even see
streamed.
it in the you can even see
Well,
it in the results, right? But did they stream it? No. Well, see, if it didn't stream, it didn't happen, right? Is it the Watson curse, right?
yeah,
Remember
exactly.
the Watson curse, So
The
yeah,
dream is
it
that
sucks.
the dream is to have all HDMI boards there and like some sort of separate recording device, some little
Yeah,
portable storage recording device you can play it back later. Because like, there's too many
and
matches that don't get seen. You're right.
yeah, and that if if Matsuda wants to release it however he wants, that's awesome.
Hmm.
It's just the idea of having all the matches recorded is so awesome. It's just
Yeah,
like
for sure.
yeah.
And like these days, it's like people are just and like these days, fast forwarding to current today for a little bit, people are so thirsty to stream and watch and record Third Strike. It's so I don't think the interest has ever been as high as it is right now for Third Strike, in my opinion. What would you think? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's you see a lot more, I guess we call them mainstream FGC players,
Hmm.
kind of rediscovering the game or picking up the game.
Hmm.
Like I see Smug. I saw Smug at NEC.
Yeah, yeah,
Shout outs to Smug. I
yeah.
saw Smug at NEC. I see him lurking with that Dudley,
Hmm.
getting stronger.
Yeah, he just challenged Justin to a first attempt straight up. Even though the experience gap is there, just the fact that he's trying and I see what he has to work on and trying to get better. Like that's awesome. I've always told him for years he should. If he picks up Dudley in Third Strike, people will go crazy, and like, which is awesome. And then like Justin's like always been a Third Strike head forever, and like now he's farming the clout, just
He
seeing
uh, he was
who can parry him.
he qualified. Yeah, well, okay. So before we get to that, right?
Okay,
Like, well, before we get to that, shout outs to Justin because this dude competed in season one,
he did.
and he was really about it, Art.
Hmm.
Okay, like true story. Like he after he won Combo Breaker,
Hmm.
right? Like he hit me up and he was like, "Hey, am I in the finale? Like I'm in the finals?" And I was like it's close, like probably, but like mathematically, there's probably a chance that you might not get in.
Hmm.
So he was like, "All right." And so he went to Akihabara. Shout outs to Akihabara.
Oh
He
yeah,
went to
I forgot
Akihabara
about that.
to make sure that he qualified. Like that just shows how much Justin actually, cared at that time,
I mean,
competing,
I,
in the game, and
I
that,
mean,
that that meant a lot. And then yeah,
Third
he
Strike's a big part
qualified.
of Justin's FGC history, so it's no
Yeah.
surprise right there. Yeah,
So
he's known for Marvel, but he was one of North America's best in Third Strike during the dark days.
yeah. So
Mm.
he really wanted to make sure he qualified.
Yeah, that's awesome. But
Yeah.
yeah, basically the way I see it is, everybody's been doing their own part like
Yeah.
independently, and they're all forming this beast, separately. Like
Mhm.
we mentioned Justin, we mentioned Smug, like Maximilian streams Third Strike a lot from time to
Oh yeah.
time, and then just the general buzz on Twitter, Facebook, everywhere is just overall positive. I couldn't be, I couldn't be more pleased at I couldn't be more pleased at what's been happening with North America Third Strike lately.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely it's really great, that people are finally, kind of recognizing, what I've always believed, right? And
Hmm.
that's just how great this game is. I mean, it's really just about the game
It's
art,
awesome,
right?
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
I
It really is
mean,
about
yeah.
the game at the end of the day. One of the things I like about it from a streamer perspective is that number one is really fast. It's a really fast game, right? Not only the actual match time itself, because of the fact that it's an arcade game, just go with matches. You can consume a top eight in like under an hour and a half. Right, we actually have to take like time for ad breaks because the game goes
Yeah,
so
yeah,
goddamn fast.
yeah. You always have to hit me up, right? Like,
Mm,
Mutant,
yeah, take an
slow
ad break.
down.
Slow down for a
Let's
second.
take an ad break. Right, slow down.
But
We're gonna be done in half an
mhm,
hour if we don't,
yep. Uh,
But it's great that you point that out, Art, because like to me, like obviously I've played Third Strike, I've competed,
mhm.
but like, and it really all goes back to like when you first saw the parry,
Yeah, you see the
like
parry, like
even in New
ooh,
Gen, right? Like
yeah.
it was from a spectator standpoint,
Mhm,
like the game is so hype, like like someone who was never like ever like seen Third Strike before, like they probably don't need a whole lot of time to kind of figure out what's going on,
mhm,
it's just that parry, and then just kind of the how the game moves. It's just like from a spectator standpoint, it's so great.
mhm.
I think it looks really entertaining. Like you said, it's fast paced, it's beautiful, right? The
Yeah, it's
art,
beautiful.
the
So beautiful,
music's
so
great.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. I'm gonna put up some. I'm gonna put up the banner from Jazzy Circuit Third Strike, and then we can
awesome,
talk about some
awesome.
of the events that
Yeah.
that we've done and are still to come this year because we are in season 3 of the Jazzy Circuit right now. All
There we
right,
go.
so can you talk like a little bit like about some of these events and what's coming up next for the
Yeah.
Jazz Circuit?
Season three actually started back last year, November, out in Philly, at NEC. Shout outs to Biggie Gaming for
Hmm.
helping us out with that event. They ran it at that new facility, Art. It's really awesome. The
Hmm.
block in
Hmm.
Philly.
Yep.
So shout outs to Biggie and Comeback,
Hmm.
who's
Held it down.
also, by the way, the retro lead at Frosty. He was also there holding it down for
Awesome.
Third Strike and all the retro games. And so Dr. Steelhammer won that first one.
Yes, he did.
So he is actually a three-time Jazzy finalist.
Hmm.
He qualified in season one and two. And so then then we had the one that we did, Art, the
Hmm.
one at Next Level back
Hmm.
in January 14th and
Yep, that
15th.
was cool.
Big Nasty came out, and Heartbreaker
Almost got it.
came really
Almost.
close,
One game
but
away.
the president Ahmed
He woke.
playing gatekeeper.
He woke up. He woke up when it was the last game, and it was funny. It was so funny
Yeah,
because everybody went from hating Ahmed to
uh,
loving him by the end of the set.
yeah, yeah,
Inventing. That
yeah.
was so funny.
And like I was saying, Art, like why does Jazzy exist? So we have excuses to like put on moments like this, right?
Hmm.
Like you remember the grand finals between Big Nasty and Ahmed? That
Yeah,
grand finals was like actually
that
ridiculous.
was
Like
ridiculous.
it was actually just insane.
Hmm.
Watch the YouTube video, watch the VOD on your channel, on Art's YouTube channel.
Hmm.
I mean, that grand finals. And then speaking of amazing Third Strike, then the next one, right? And so shout outs to Ahmed for winning the next level one, defending New York. And then we had Frosty,
Yes, Frosty
which just happened last weekend.
just happened. Yep.
and VMP, Vampire Arcadia, held it down,
Shouts to
streaming all
Vampire.
the retro games.
Shouts to
You
Vampire
know, they
holding it down.
really the stream looked awesome all weekend, and they were running Third Strike and Lance. Lance is an awesome story
The Lance
arc.
Show.
So when Lance first got into Third Strike, like I think maybe I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, he was actually living in Alaska.
Mm.
So like, and he had no scene, and this dude was so about Third Strike that he bought a Versus City cab and he had it shipped to Alaska.
Oh, no way.
I'm serious. So Lance has since moved.
Godlike.
Uh, Lance has since moved outside of Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want to dox him, but he's
Mm-hmm.
outside of Alaska now.
Did he
But
bring the Versus City with them?
I don't know where the cab. That's funny that you mentioned that, Art, because like these cabs have like histories, right?
They do
Like
have
it's funny
history.
to kind of like figure out where the cabs go.
Mm-hmm.
Like Cab Hunter or something.
Cap
Is the
Hunter.
cab still rotting in Alaska?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so Lance won Frosty, and again, he I think came coming in second was Al
Mm-hmm.
from the Chicago area.
Yep. It, it, it,
Um,
it was a Chun
yeah,
Chun mirror, guys.
I mean, we could talk. I mean, that's a whole nother
Yeah, it
podcast,
was
I
a Chun.
guess. But
A big nasty tried to stop it, but the Chuns were too strong that day.
you know, but you want to put the events on
Oh
the
yeah,
big
yeah,
ones?
no, yeah. I'll
Yeah,
put it
yeah,
back up.
just real quick. Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
cool, cool. Yeah, so shout outs to Lance for winning the Frosty Faustings auto qual. So we have three players so far who've qualified.
Mm-hmm.
We got Steelhammer, Ahmed, and Lance.
Mm-hmm.
And so the next auto qual, it's great that you started the stream with the replay of Five Star and Issei,
Yes.
because the next auto qual is going to be at the same venue that we held the season 2 finale, and that's Texas Gamers Lounge. Shout outs to the owner Imran.
Yeah. Shots Imran.
Uh, yeah, Texas Gamers Lounge, definitely a true retro head.
Oh yeah.
Definitely
Oh
passionate
yeah.
about keeping the arcade scene alive.
That venue was
And
amazing.
yo, Art, can you put the Matcherino up for the TGL?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Just pass me the link on Twitter.
Oh, okay. Can,
Yeah.
can I can I can I type it in the chat?
Yeah. You can type in the chat. I think so.
All
You have a
right.
mod. Yeah.
So
Go
let me
ahead.
type it in the chat because Katie Alpha will get mad at me if I don't do this.
Mm.
So so there's some stretch goals that we have set for the Matcherino. But Katie Alpha, there's this one stretch goal that Katie Alpha is especially passionate about making. And so if you click on that link, you'll notice that the $1,000 stretch goal is a mini hoops tournament. So what some people what wasn't caught on stream is that during the season 2 finale there was some side competition
Mm-hmm.
in the hoops arcade
Uh.
machine. some uh, some side games
Yep.
with hoops, and so Katie decided, hey, as a stretch goal, maybe we could do a mini hoops tournament. But anyway, all the auto qualifiers have matcherinos.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. We got to make sure to tell Venka to add all the sponsor quests as well. So we can donate some more money. But guys, click the link in the chat. Use up those use up those free coupon codes, and yeah, like hopefully we can reach some of these stretch goals that we're seeing right here. I believe you also asked me to help restream it. So yeah, you guys can use my channel to restream it if you want to try to help get that stretch goal. All right. So yeah. So anyway, yeah. Shout out to the Texas Gamers Lounge. They are that place is an amazing venue. Like I really enjoyed my time being there in Austin. And like we still have 4 more qualifiers after that, huh? It looks like we lost them now.
it
All
always
right.
happens with Third Strike.
Yeah. Always happens at their strength.
Always the blow ups.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So we're back. So we're talking about Texas Gamers Lounge for a bit, and then like there's also a couple more events that
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
still 4 more qualifiers that are still
yeah.
to
Yeah.
come.
So basically, season 3, it's 8 auto qualifiers, and then at the finale, there's going to be 8 spots, last chance qualifiers,
Hmm.
and so the finale is going to be 16 players, And so there's 8 auto qualifiers, and then 8 spots will be up for grabs at the finale.
Mhm.
So yeah, we were talking about TGL. That's happening in February 19th.
Mhm.
And then another event that I'm really looking forward to. A lot of strong players are set to go out there. February 26th, the very next weekend, out in Tep, Arizona, the Gaming Zone, and that's going to be run by a longtime FGC vet, OG Saber AZ,
Oh yeah, the homie.
the Alpha God,
Mhm.
the American Alpha God Saber.
Mhm.
And so TGZ, and so Saber, shout outs to him for agreeing to run that auto qualifier. And I think there are going to be some out of towners planning to go there. Um, I don't know. Remember Rennick? Obviously,
Yeah, of
Rennick.
course. Yep.
Remember Rennick was at the
Obviously.
finale. Rennick blew it up at the finale.
Mhm. Yes, he
Uh,
did.
so so I don't know if you saw his tweet, Art, but he announced that he wanted to sponsor a player,
Oh shit.
to come out and compete and in the third strike tournament.
Mhm. That's awesome.
And he chose Envy, the Yang player from New Jersey.
Oh snap. Let's see.
And actually, and he's going to be going out there to compete, and get a little training from Rennick.
Mhm.
And so yeah, it's definitely cool that Rennick's doing that. And so yeah, the Gaming Zone, February 26th.
Mhm.
And then on March 5th, I think the actual third strike tournament's in March 5th. But there's going to be an auto qualifier at Winter Showdown, which is at Akihabara Arcade,
Awesome.
which is just amazing looking venue. I just can't wait to be able to go out there. But the owner is really all about third strike. Brandon's really passionate about the game, and he's really all about it. He even designed these custom Jazzy displays for the cabs, and shout outs to Akihabara. Also, Stone Cold Ryan, he's the TO. He's the kind of the third strike TO there. And so definitely looking forward to that auto qualifier. And then Free Play Arcade, the site of the finale, is also having an auto qualifier on April 15th through 17th. Um, I haven't gotten a chance to go to Free Play yet. Art, you're scheduled to be there at the finale.
Yep.
Um, uh, but from what I've heard, Free Play Arcade, they have multiple locations, but the Arlington location is kind of where a lot of the third strike happens. But it's just, like real talk. Like obviously this is about third strike, right?
Mhm.
Or but like
Yep.
I'm afraid once I get there, I'm just gonna get lost in all the
All the
other
arcade games. Yeah.
games. You know what I'm saying? When are you gonna have time
It's
to
like
to do
going. Yeah,
anything?
it's like going to Galloping Ghost Arcade, where it's like you're there for a specific
Oh
game, but there's so
yeah,
many games you
wow.
can't play anywhere else.
Dude, I definitely need to come go out there too.
Mhm.
But Free Play Arcade, proud sponsor of Jazzy Season 3. And so they're gonna run their own auto qualifier
Mhm.
on April 15th through 17th.
Yep.
Then, last but not least, Art, I think you're planning to go out there
Yep.
April 30th to May 1st. Boss Battle Games. I saw Net Battles
Yeah.
in
Net
the
battles in the
chat
chat.
a little bit earlier.
Blow up. Mhm.
And so, Nolber, again, Naptown Clutch. And so, Boss Battle Games is an arcade that's in a mall out in Indianapolis, and they have cabs, and they've agreed to hold an auto qualifier there. And so, all the Smash pages are open for registration.
Mhm.
Are just go to our main page, smash.gg/thejazzycircuit, and there are links to register for all the events. And then, tickets for the Jazzy finale weekend will go on sale pretty soon. So when that happens, we'll drop, the news on our Twitter at the Jazzy Circuit. But yeah, Jazzy finale weekend, June 17th through 14th. Whoa,
You're like man,
I'm like super soon,
you were
dude.
super.
Like,
You were super tuned
yeah,
in.
yeah,
Talking
yeah,
about the lore of the Jazzy circuit. But yeah,
yeah. I don't
guys.
know what happened here. I don't know
But
what
yeah,
I did.
guys. If you want to find information on all this stuff, you can follow twitter.com/the Jazzy Circuit, the jazzycircuit.com, Mutant Experience on Twitter, Mutant XP on Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, guys. Like we still have like a lot of third strike action to come, and we're looking forward to seeing how this season turns out.
Yeah,
Um.
def-
Yeah. All right, guys. So I guess at this time, we'll take 5 minutes some questions from the audience and chat. So. Yeah,
yeah,
so if you want to ask any questions for us, definitely,
yeah,
or a Mutant XP here while we got them, feel free,
yeah.
guys. You're so
Is there a
zoomed
way
in.
you could like fix that? Like, how is it happening?
Let me try to fix that.
Yeah, yeah. Let me just
Oh yeah, I just so zoomed in. Wow.
yeah.
All right, let me fix that real quick.
Zord on XP.
Yeah. All right, let me see. Where is? Because I have so much going on in this little scene that I don't know where we
Yeah.
are. Okay, there we go. Let me crop you again. Put you in. There we go.
All right.
I hope this works. Oh no! Oh, that's why I wasn't fixed. I see. Yeah, yeah, guys. I was doing Discord capture, which is screen capping the window. All right, there we go.
All
Much,
right. All right.
much better. All right, cool. So yeah. So any questions? Oh, okay. So Delonimus asks, I got one. Are Boss and Matsuda using the same tech as you guys with the HDMI out in Japan? No, they're currently not using it at the moment. Well, the only person that has HDMI currently in Japan that's actively using it for events right now is 2D Jazz Obama, and that's because we set him up personally. He sent me a CPS2 HDMI to give to crews to mods, so he has that. He had just got a third strike board, so once it gets to my place, I'll give it to crews again, and we'll send them back an HDMI third strike board. So currently nobody's doing that in Japan, but like hopefully that's gonna change in the future.
So, Mash Legs Mutant. What's your second favorite fighting game? Hyper fighting. So, actually, interestingly enough, Art. I think I told you this, right?
Hmm.
Like, like my favorite Street Fighter is actually Hyper Fighting
Awesome.
because it's like the Street Fighter of my childhood. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like it's kind of like the game that like I kind of grew up with. Remember like when it first came out for SNES, like it
Hmm.
was so hype because like you didn't have to like go to the arcade and waste all the quarters, right? You could
No,
kind of
I did
like
not.
practice at home. Of course, looking back, right, port was nothing like arcade, but when you're a kid, you
Yeah,
don't
for
know. You know
sure.
what I mean? So like interestingly enough, Hyper Fighting is actually technically my favorite Street Fighter game, but I do think Third Strike, in my humble opinion, is the greatest Street Fighter game.
Yeah,
But
yeah. It's definitely like a really good game, a classic. Big Teddy asked, MVC2 where and when. So I'm glad you asked that. So I'm actually going to be doing a Marvel 2 tournament at NYC Next Level with Chris Matrix. Let me pull up the date real quick, so I can tell you exactly when it's going to go down. Let me see. Just looking at my Twitter feed to get it. It's sometime in early March. Let me see. Oh yeah. Okay, I see. So Saturday, March 5th at NYC Next Level, we'll be doing a Marvel 2 tournament. We're gonna have a up and comers team battle. I'm gonna have like a main event singles tournament. Of course, on DC HDMI. That is gonna be March 5th at 12 p.m. Eastern on Twitch.tv and NYC Furby. So definitely make sure you look forward to that. Um, Katie Alpha asks, are there any plans to start a hyper fighting circuit?
any questions by Katie Alpha, you could just ignore at this
Just
point,
ignore.
okay? Because that's what any questions that he puts, you could ignore.
I think
So now,
no, I think I have a command for Katie
yeah,
from last time.
yeah.
There we go.
Whoever
There we
can,
go.
yeah.
The views of Katie Alpha
Oh,
do not reflect
you
those.
put the bot, you put the command. I
I
love it. I
I
love
still
it.
I still
Thank
had
you.
it there from season 2
I
finale.
like it. I like it. I like it. Yeah. So Net Battles asks, are you ever gonna do anything with Second Impact? We actually have before Net Battles. Remember Art when we did that?
Yeah, we did.
Remember on like the actual birthday of Third Strike or whatever.
Yeah, we did all Street
Like
Fighter
we
3
ran
tournament.
we ran all three Street Fighters. And remember that was like we had to like flash them in
Hmm.
between the
Oh yeah,
tournaments.
we were dealing with the 40. So if you guys don't know, for those of you that have genuine third strike boards, right? here, I'll show it. So I have mine right here. For those of you guys that have genuine third strike boards, it comes with a security cart that you guys see right here. But the security cart is heavily modded, right? So in order to change games, you have to flash the sims, right, and while leaving the security card in, and it basically takes 45 minutes to switch games, right, until the latest Darksoft mod that came out that just takes that away. But anyway, like we were definitely flashing games in between some of the tournament matches, just to make sure
Yeah.
we had no downtime on stream. It was funny.
Yeah. We ran New Gen and then Second Impact, and then we ended
Mm.
with a Jazzy event. It was a pretty fun tournament. It was cool, and I was telling you, Art, right? Like it'd be awesome if we did it for like another series, right?
Oh yeah, for
Like what
sure.
if we did it for the Alpha series? That would be awesome.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I would definitely be down to do that. Yeah, we were flashing. We were flashing on site and waiting, Nober. That was a pretty fun tournament. That was a pretty fun tournament though. But yeah, Mutant. Thank you so much for taking the time to be on the
Well,
podcast.
thank you for helping continue to blow up Jazzy and support Jazzy.
Hmm.
Without you, obviously, we wouldn't have been able to get to where we are, and just really looking forward to all these other events. And looking forward to all these other Third Strike. I mean, it's been so hype already. There's been so many great matches and great
Hmm.
footage.
I know. I know. I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see what the future holds for Third Strike. I actually wonder. So I guess I should actually mention this before we sign off. So the homie Cruz actually donated one of his personal Third Strike boards to the Mr. FPGA project.
Mm.
Right. So the homie Jotego, who's in Spain, actually has possession of that Third Strike board. So there could possibly be a future where like someday Third Strike could be blown up on Mister someday, depending on if the
Wow.
accuracy is there or not. What do you think about that?
I mean, hey, it's being able to run on well, being able to play the game the way it was intended to play is
Hmm.
obviously getting harder and harder.
It's getting harder and
And
harder. Like Third Strike, it's like if you were to buy a board, you would have made 300 to 400% investment return on your investment, considering how expensive these boards are.
yeah,
Like me personally, with that
mm,
board I showed you, I would not let it go for anything less than 1,500, as an example.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean I see
Yeah.
people on eBay trying to sell boards for 2 grand.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
so yeah, and so yeah, I mean if Mister is able to develop something that's really close or pretty damn close.
Hmm.
I know that that the ST scene, they've started using
Yeah, they've been
Mister, right,
converting.
for
Yeah,
some events.
yeah, I've been slowly converting like scenes little by little, and like I'm
Mm.
sad I wasn't there to see it at Frosty, but I believe at Frosty, Vampire and Super Turbo were run on Mister, or no, or it could have been just Vampire Savior, but still, like it is starting to get some traction in events, and like they're kind of coming to the same conclusion that I did years ago, like which is basically with a good FPGA implementation, once the bugs are worked out, because obviously there's bugs involved in reverse engineering. It's a community-based effort in which people have to bust out their real boards, test it against Mister, test the edge cases and stuff like that, and revise it and so forth and so on. But then when you get to the top of that mountain hill, it's extremely hard to tell the difference from a real PCB versus Mister in some cases. And once again, it's not black magic. It depends. It depends on the core author if they're able to re-implement the whole game in FPGA and have the logic like all mapped out and reverse engineered and decapped, which is no small undertaking. So you see, anyway, just some thoughts for the future, guys. Like who knows? Like maybe 2 years from now, Jazzy will be mostly, maybe the qualifiers will be on Mister, because Third Strike boards might be double the price that they are right now. Who knows?
Mhm. No, I've seen the Mister in action, especially
Hmm.
in ST.
Hmm.
I mean, again, I think I definitely am looking forward to seeing what Mister does. But like you were saying, Art, it's like a community effort. Is there
Hmm.
anything that the people can do to help this effort along and help Mister, kind of proceed with the Third Strike project?
Oh, honestly, like the bulk of the work has been done by Cruz, and actually giving
Mm.
him the third strike board. I think
Yeah.
I think honestly, like if you want to help that project, the best thing you can do is become a Patreon of Jotego. on his
Okay.
Patreon account. It's $3 a month, but you get
Mhm.
access to beta cores before it goes public. Like I can say, like I've been a
Do we
Patreon
got a link
of
for
his.
that? Do we got a
Yeah,
link
yeah,
for
yeah.
that?
I'll link you. I've been a Patreon of his for a while. It's the best $3. It's one of the best $3 I ever spent in retro.
Yeah.
Cause he is blowing shit up like all the time, and Third Strike is on his pipeline, but there's obviously a couple of things that have to be done first before we can get work on Third Strike. Like maybe sometime during the summer. Yeah, here I'll link it.
And really to me are the exciting thing about a really good Mister of CPS3 and especially Third Strike is I know there's a lot of a lot of really kind of hardcore Third Strike players out
Yeah,
there.
I think that's going to be the hardest community.
Yeah.
That's going to be one of the hardest communities to convert because
but
because Third Strike community is all
yeah.
about arcade. I understand.
Yeah, but that's where kind of Mister really has a chance to really kind of help the Third Strike scene because if they're able to make a Mister that's really close, then maybe some of these more hardcore Third Strike players will think twice and maybe decide to go out because Third Strike is kind of a game, especially when you've been playing it a really long time. A lot of the top players, you get very sensitive to the nuances of the game, and so
Hmm.
if Mister can give us a solution that'll help us make running arcade quote unquote perfect. I know that
Yeah.
phrase, right?
Yeah,
Arcade perfect.
yeah, arcade. But yeah, no. If you read through, if you're actually like, I'm showing you guys here because I'm sub to his
Yeah,
Patreon. You can kind of
yeah.
see the level of dedication that he goes through to have like a complete perfect hardware implementation in Mister. So you can see this article right here. It's talking like about how some of the bugs he found they was even backported to MAME and stuff like that. So there's some things that other emulator offers did not know. And like these are games that are like 20, 30 years old, right? So it's like no, so of course, obviously no promises, but I'm looking forward to great things from this project. But
Definitely.
but yeah, once again, Mutant, thank you so much for your time, brother.
Yeah, thank you so much, Art. Really appreciate you inviting me on here.
Yep. Hopefully the chat enjoyed it. Once again, guys, this gonna you guys are watching it here live on YouTube. I mean on Twitch. I'm sorry, but it's gonna be uploaded live to the YouTube Beast Coast FGC channel. Let me see if I can put it on stream. If you guys want to drop them a sub. Yeah, yeah, and it is youtube.com/ Beast Coast FGC. We're also gonna have like a Spotify channel where you'll be able to listen to these, like maybe like while you're at work or like driving in a car somewhere. That like I'll drop the link for that as soon as it's live. Obviously, we gotta upload this, so the Spotify channel is not live yet. But yeah, be out on the look for it. Anyway, this was episode 1 featuring Mutant XP of the Jazzy Circuit. Thank you so much for your time, man, and catch you next time, brother.
All right, thanks for having me, Art.
Yep. All right.